Thursday, December 4th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends at FanDuel. Forgot to turn the light behind me. That's a little bit of a blunder on my part. We have a great show for you today. I'm your host, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer, Jacob Germania. We were in a little bit of a mad scramble to get in here because I had to run to the washroom before the stream started. So, yeah, sorry for starting like 30 seconds late. You can blame me for that. As you can tell, I also wasn't ready because the light wasn't on. Anyways, we got a great show for you lined up for you guys today. Let's bring up the graphic here. To lead the show, we got Alex Moretto coming on to talk edge work overtime. And So Money decided, you know what? I've been shining so much recently on edge work overtime. I'm going to let Alex take some of the spotlight here because last Tuesday, Alex kind of just sat back. He's like, I don't have bets today. I have nothing on this game. And So Money just did so much heavy lifting. He's like, you know what? I feel like I did 2 shows this week. So he's taking the day off. Alex is filling in for him. It's just going to be Alex today. And you guys get a little bit of a treat. Instead of edge work overtime, it's edge work first period, I guess is what we're going to call it. Mm-hmm. After that, Brad Powers is going to come on, talk championship week, talk a little bit about some college football futures. Of course, going to get his opinion on the Heisman race. And he also has some 2026 futures that he's preparing for. So, I mean, Brad is always cooking in the kitchen. We're not even in the college football playoffs yet. And he's already thinking about looking forward to the year ahead. And then finally, we close out the show with Hitman, who is one of the best prop bettors that I know. We're going to talk some Thursday Night Football. I mean, I've been looking for some news on him on Raw. I thought for sure he was going to be out today, but it seems like he's still questionable. So I gotta get his opinion on that. When he got rolled up on, it looked a little bit suspect. Plus, this Dallas Cowboys team looked to be an absolute wagon. It's going to be a fun game tonight. Rare fun Thursday game. As Alex is aware of because, put himself on those Thursday scheduled games so he doesn't have to come into office to watch the games. Anyways. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much it.
Good show.
It's a good show today. Before we get into things, though, I want to remind you guys, Thursday, today, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we have our Best Bets show with Rob, with Suma, with Austin Mock. They go break down every single game on the college football slate, on the NFL slate, giving out their 3 best bets for every game, breaking it all down, talking through each game. You don't want to miss that show. It's one of our best shows we have on the network. Do you think the Tuesday show is better than the Thursday show? What's your opinion on that?
I mean, I work the Tuesday show, so yes.
It's the Tuesday show is better produced, but does the Thursday show maybe have better content?
Oof. It's tough to say. Flup's hard-hitting injury analysis is tough to turn down every Tuesday.
All right. Well, you got it. That's appointment viewing for sure, and I will also say this Thursday show is also.
And George is just such a great host as well.
George is good, but
he's built for that. He's built for that job.
He really is carrying Flup on his back, though.
Record-wise, George is doing better than Flup. Yes.
Yes. Of course. Yeah. All right. Let's get into things. I see you guys in the chat. You guys are excited about this. Edgework homeroom. Edgework first. What a time to be alive. So Money had to leave early today because he's going to go watch the Quinn Hughes bag skate. All right. Interesting stuff. Let's bring him up. You know him. You love him. Works for this network. Talks a lot about hockey. His favorite team is the Habs, but he loves talking about the Leafs more. Alex, how's it going?
How's it going, Jason?
I'm good. I'm excited to get into things. We don't get to one-on-one on air enough. It's
I know. It's been a while. Last time we did this
preseason
was like September.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And you gave out bangers. So like there is a lot of pressure on you. A lot of pressure.
True.
And I wish you I wish you told me those sooner than right before the show because I didn't have my facilities to get those bets in before they were taken off the board. So
well, I mean, if I had done that, the great people watching the show probably couldn't have got them.
No, come on. You think I'm able to move stuff? That's silly.
When Jason bets, it goes the other way.
I mean,
yeah, you could have gotten them a better number.
Get them better numbers.
That's true.
As you could see with the
Pavia
Heisman. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. How do you want to do this? You want to break down every single game today, or do you want to just go through the games you have bets on? I'm sad because I always forget to wear my Ducks jersey, and then every time I remember to wear my Ducks jersey, the Ducks don't play on the days that I do. So, no Ducks jersey today. Ducks aren't playing.
No Ducks games. We're good.
No Ducks games. So, Yeah, where do you want to start here? How do you want to do?
Let's just do every game. Let's do
right.
the same thing that we always do. We don't have Brad coming on until 12:35, so
Okay.
So Money obviously can't make it now today. So kind of I'm just gonna have to look. You know that I've mastered the art of talking a lot when I don't have a bet. I do have a decent amount of bets tonight, so it's okay. But I'm gonna have to try and talk a lot even when I don't have bets, so I can try and get us as close as I can to that 12:35.
If it doesn't, don't feel like you have to stretch it. It's all good. Let's start with the Avalanche taking on the Islanders. Avalanche minus 210 right now on the money line on the road. Totals at 6, minus 118 towards the over. What are your thoughts on this game?
Okay, sorry, I was just trying to put a bet in, to be honest with you. So
wait, hold on. What was it? Tell the audience. Tell the audience. You can.
Well, we'll get to the game. We'll get to the game. The market's pretty still. So it's fine. I already bet it earlier, and then I just saw a little bit of an off-market number that hadn't moved, and I realized it, so I just added a little bit more. But we'll get to it. So we started with the Avalanche, you said?
Yeah.
Avalanche Islanders?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. All right, Avalanche Islanders. So typically a spot where I would like to bet an under. I talked about how the Isles have been a lot better defensively, and the Avs, obviously very, very good defensive team. Just as I praised the Islanders for playing better hockey, they got railroaded by the Lightning the other night. They did win the game. Pretty crazy stat. Like, I can't remember the exact stat, but like when they get outshot by a significant margin and allow 30+ shots, they're like 5-0 or 6-0 this year. This feels like a good spot for that to continue. I would expect Sorokin to have another good game. Maybe Avs can kind of do what they want offensively, but like Sorokin kind of keeps them in it. It's a bit tighter scoring. So I do lean towards an under here. I didn't bet an under. I'm hoping that we see some classic Avs over money, although that's kind of dried up a little bit more of late. But if we do see some over money, we can get maybe like a plus money under 6 or like a minus 126.5 even would be great. Then I would get involved in this game. But for now, I have not. Nothing in the meantime. But I do want to bet. I really want to bet an under in this one. I just need that over money to come through. So hopefully we get it.
Yeah, we see some 6.5 starting to creep up there, and the over is like lowest I see is like minus 110, but that's like a book with that's super sharp with really low vig. So yeah, maybe we can get some over money coming in. And then what number would you need on that under 6 if you wanted to take it?
Plus money 6, so maybe you just take a few cents. Or if we get a minus 120, I know there's minus 125, 6.5, which like technically I would bet. I wouldn't call them widely available. I also wouldn't say you can probably get much down on them, but you never know. Depending on what kind of situation you have. So maybe I wouldn't hate that look, but it's possible that we can get a little bit better at one point. So
yeah,
we'll hold out. I'm less optimistic than I have been in the past because Avs over money typically isn't coming as much anymore. I think the market has kind of cooled on that, which was great because we were ahead of the punch for a while, but now that they've kind of caught on, it's kind of taken our value away from betting these Avs under. So that's kind of, the well's a little bit dried up here, but you never know what happens close to post. Some of these get absolutely crazy. Like the Jets last night got bet out like they knew the final score of that game. Same thing as the Sabres. I bet the Sabres yesterday. I lost that bet, but like plus money in the morning, they got bet out to like minus 135. Especially right near post. Like them and the Wild last night, they were literally betting those games like they knew the final score. And sorry, the Jets, not the Wild, and both of those teams lost. So some of this late steam has been a lot of fun to fade if you've been on the right side of some of them.
Interesting. All right. And I know that 6.5 that you're looking at, you're probably going to drive to a casino near you in Ontario and go play that. All right, let's flip over, and I'm going to try and guess the game that you just bet.
Okay.
Is it the Rangers and the Senators?
I don't know what. Okay, why did you guess that one?
I just see an off-market number on BetStamp Pro. That's why I just.
Oh, fair. That's not the one I just bet, but I did bet that one not too long ago.
Okay.
So I do have a bet in this game.
All right, talk us through it.
I do think, there's I guess technically I see the off-market number you're talking about. I don't like the side. I do lean Rangers for sure. Just not confident enough in this team without Fox. I know they won the other night, but eventually that impact is it's going to be felt more and more. I like the over in this game, and when I say I like it, I mean I like the price. I hate the bet itself, but like it is what it is. Sometimes you just bet some really ugly games, and I bet an over here. Pray that these teams can score goals somehow. Like, I do really like what I've seen from this Ottawa offense since Tkachuk has been back. They're generating a lot more at 5-on-5. They've been really good, which pains me to say as someone who can't stand the Senators and their fan base, but they have been good. And the Rangers, less so, especially without Fox. It kind of hurts them. It hurts them at both ends, but it definitely hurts them offensively and on the power play, where I'm really downgrading the Sens today on the penalty kill because no Artem Zub. Shocker, the market didn't react to Artem Zub. If they're not going to react to like good players, how are they going to react to Artem Zub? But like, Zub is actually low key a very, very good defensive piece for this team. He plays a lot of their toughest minutes. He plays, on their top power penalty kill unit, and he's really big for a lot of what they do. No Omar tonight either. We got Marilainen. So yeah, on those two pieces of news, I did bet an over 5.5, and the market basically just stood still and said, we don't care. So it is what it is. I like it. I like over 5.5 here. I'm just trying to see what's available. There's a bunch of -110 available. The -115s are fine. Obviously, you can get one of those -110 at FanDuel, so why would you not be able to get a -110?
Okay. All right. I guess I want to try and keep guessing which game you bet here. Is it in this first window or the 7 o'clock window?
It is. What time does the game start? Yeah, it is.
Okay. Is it the Florida Nashville under?
No, it is not.
All right. Well, then let's just go to the Florida. Let's just talk through the Florida Nashville game. Then it is what it is. I don't know how I'm missing this. Total right now is at 6, -122 towards the over. I thought maybe you liked the under for Florida and Nashville because, again, Nashville not a great team. Florida still dealing with some injuries. And best price in market available at FanDuel +100 if you like that under 6.
I would say a very sharp price available at FanDuel because I bet the over in this game.
Okay, there we go.
I bet the over in this game. Not necessarily a bet I would advise at a lot of, if you can get, there's -105. Again, there's some -104s that I think places that don't matter, but the -105, I think hopefully people can get to. I think that's good. That's the highest I'd go though. Again, Florida money does tend to come in towards these unders a little bit still, somewhat with Nashville too. So hopefully the plus money 6s can come back at one point. If not, I'm still okay with these -105s. Just a case of like Florida generating a lot of offense still. Nashville generating a lot of offense still. Goaltending hasn't really been sharp for Florida. They're tailing off a little bit defensively, which is eventually to be expected with all the injuries. Like, it's going to catch up to you, and it is catching up to them big time now. Nashville, like, playing just more high-event games. They've kind of like thrown caution to the wind. It's been a little bit refreshing to see that like terrible, boring, low-event Predators hockey is gone. I think they just don't have the horses to play that kind of style anymore. Some of the younger players up front are starting to deliver a little bit. So yeah, some sneaky potential for goals in this one that's been bet up quite a bit since this morning. But I think there's still a little bit of meat left on the bone for an over here, depending on where you are looking. Obviously, a sharp number at FanDuel here that I think they're very much shaded in the right direction.
All right, shaded in the right direction. 0 for 2. 0 for 2 on what I guessed here. You're looking for preferably an over in that game rather than that like best price in market under. But hey, if you want to fade Alex here, you can get the best price in market at FanDuel. Do I recommend it? No. But if you like it, like, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to bet because it's part of the game. Like, sometimes you can just bet your opinion, and sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right. Speaking of betting your opinion and being completely wrong, last Tuesday, 2 days ago, I guess last Tuesday, I looked at the Panthers playing the Leafs, and I was like, this number's wrong. And I was like, Panthers should be shaded way more on the money line. Turns out I was wrong. Toronto ended up winning that game 4-1. So I'm going to make my third guess here. Probably going to be 0 for 3. Did you bet on this Hurricanes-Leafs game where the Canes are like -205 on the money line? Totals at 6.5, -122 towards the under. Is this the game that you bet on?
I did. This is not the game that I just bet on. So I think by process of elimination, you're pretty close to getting it.
I'm going to get it soon.
You are going to get it soon. I did bet this game, though. Again, I bet a lot of these 7 o'clock games. So I bet an under in this game, under 6.5.
Okay.
-120 is kind of as far out as I'd ideally like to go, but you can grab that at a few different spots or better. So should be good to still get that. Yeah, just like Leafs playing, I wouldn't say well, but like they're tightening things up a little bit, and Joseph Wall is giving them some good, consistent goaltending, which they haven't had for much of this season. Carolina has kind of fallen off a cliff offensively. They are not generating like they were. This like high octane, high volume offense has very much slowed. They're playing these kind of slugfest sort of games, and they're getting some good goaltending when Boosie is in net. We'll see who starts tonight, but either way, I'm still pretty comfortable in what Carolina should be able to do with the puck in this game and what they should be able to do in terms of limiting the Leafs. So I think a lot more low event than maybe the first time these two teams met, when Carolina had like 300 grade A scoring chances and came back from like a 2-goal deficit and won like 6-4 or something like that. I think this will be much tighter game. Leafs should be able to tighten things up a little bit. Carolina's still kind of trying to get back into a rhythm right now. And yeah, I think under 6.5 to -120 is good here.
All right, we're looking for an under here in the Leafs game. Jordan in the chat saying he is a believer today. He believes in the Leafs. Also, Charles said Verhaeghe new dad bump, had a kid, anytime goal?
Yes.
Question mark.
Yes.
Is that
I
something?
love that. I heard about that. Yeah. They asked him if he thinks he has new dad strength, and he said, "You're going to have to ask the boys." But Bobsky said my shot was a little bit harder at practice today, so maybe
be a thing.
Carter Verhaeghe anytime goal. What do we got prices on that?
Let me find it in a sec.
We have plus 230 at FanDuel, one of the best prices in market.
Yes,
that's an unofficial best bet for today. Carter Verhaeghe. That's me and Charles will tag team that one.
Unofficial best bet, and if you really are going crazy here, 3+ goals for him to score a hat trick. Best price in market, 125 to 1 at FanDuel. Is that like just a good price in general? I'm not really sure, but if you want if you want to bet him to score a hat trick, you want to do it at FanDuel, where he's 125 to 1, where I see like the rest of them, like there's a 60 to 1 out there, or like an 80 to 1. Like, yeah, you just take the 125 to 1 instead. All right. Is this the last game in the 7:00 window? I think it is. No, there's two more.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there's two more.
Can I
bets on both, so okay. I mean, you're good.
We got bets in both then. All right, let's talk Blues and Bruins then. Blues -140 on the money line here on the road going into Boston. Totals at 5.5, -114 juice towards the under. Is this the game you bet?
This is the game I was just betting.
There we go. Okay, finally.
I was just betting a cheap Blues number that I saw at a random spot, a random Ontario spot. But yeah, I do like the Blues. It's so ugly, but like I was been looking for a spot to fade the Bruins. Then the openers came out last night. I'm like, all right, I don't think we're going to get it here, because St. Louis is still, I mean, they're favored on the road against this bad injured Bruins team. And then Bruins took money, and then Korpisalo was announced as a Bruins starter. And it was like, I can't sit this one out any longer. So I bet the Blues. It is disgusting to lay this number with St. Louis on the road, but the Bruins suck. I don't know. Like at one point they have crashed down to earth in terms of their like expected goal share and everything. They're playing really bad hockey. Injuries have caught up to them. Obviously no Pasternak, no McAvoy, some other guys out. Like it's been tough. Swayman's masked a lot of their issues on the back end and their issues in general. And their like high shooting percentage, and like Morgan Geekie being the best player in the NHL all of a sudden has masked a lot of their like lack of talent up front. But like all this stuff is going to catch up to them. They're not playing good hockey. They're playing like one of the worst teams in the NHL. And without Pasternak and McAvoy, they have one of the worst rosters in the NHL, especially when Korpisalo is starting. So I'm kind of planting my flag in that. I do not think this Bruins team is any good, especially like in their current form. At least I should say. I don't want to like slander them with those guys in the lineup, because they are at least obviously respectable. But like as currently constructed with the guys out of the lineup and with Korpisalo starting over Swayman, this team sucks. And the Blues are worthy of laying this number on the road. A Blues team that is kind of struggling to find their way a little bit this season, but like still playing some decent hockey. I trust them just enough to lay this with them on the road, as ugly as it is. So yeah, give me the Blues here. I also bet it's all ugly. I'm just going to preface it by saying it's all ugly, but I also bet an over in this game. I don't trust the Bruins to score necessarily. I also don't necessarily trust the Blues to score a ton. Both offenses are like not exactly inspiring, but the Bruins defense is so bad. And without Swayman there to cover up their blemishes, I think there's sneaky potential for this to get a little crazy. So there's like some 5.5 -120s to the over, which I think is where it should be. This FanDuel -106 to the over, and there's some other cheaper over 5.5s. I think those are worthy of being bet. So Blues and an over here, and we just sit back and don't watch a second of this game is the plan.
Leave it off the TV for tonight.
Yes.
Just kind of check in on it at the end of the night. Either give a check mark or give an X, or maybe checking in the first period and give an X just in case if it's going wrong. Then maybe you can come back and erase it, put the check mark down, as we've been known to do on this show. Watch a Thursday night football game instead of this game. Last game in the 7 o'clock window, Pittsburgh taking on Tampa Bay. Lightning are -176 right now at home, over on FanDuel on the money line. Totals at 6.5, -126 towards the under. I mean, I feel like this is just like just coming into preseason expectations. Like this just feels like a crazy price looking at Tampa Bay versus Pittsburgh, but here we are. Pittsburgh seems to be like a little bit better than people are expecting, and Tampa Bay being like a little bit worse. Anything you like in this game?
No, there isn't. Although like my odds screen was a little bit wrong, and I'm realizing that these under prices are now coming into a range that I might be comfortable betting them. So I actually might bet this live on air. I do like kind of on under now, under 6.5 -105 I'm seeing, which is, I was just talking to someone earlier, someone who bets the NHL quite a bit as well, and is pretty influential, I'd say, in the market. And I was saying that, like, yeah, we're getting the Johansson game. There's no Vasilevsky here. Doesn't sound like any of the defensemen are coming back. And like, I still have no appetite to bet this over. I know it's going to run, but I have no appetite to bet this over. Like over 6 -110, -115 was out there. I just don't like it. And yeah, they agreed with me. And now we're at a point where, wow, the over has run a lot more than I was expecting, and I might come back on an under here. So I think under 6.5 -105 is quite good, and that is worth a bet. So yeah, I think bets on every 7 o'clock game except for that Avalanche one.
Wow. All right, we were being treated, and these are not forced, considering that you didn't bet anything basically last Tuesday, 2 days ago.
No, they're not being forced. I would have forced. I would happily come on here today and say I have nothing if I had nothing. But yeah, I'm not. Look, I love everyone in the chat, and they know by now that I'm not going to just like spam bets out there if I don't have any bets. So it is what it is.
Of course, yeah. And I think I said the 6.5 was -126. It is -112 on FanDuel. So market, like you said, coming down a little bit on this towards the under. So yeah, let's talk through. What do we got? 4 more games left here. Detroit taking on the Blue Jackets. Red Wings are underdogs on the road. Blue Jackets -122 favorites, playing at home. Totals at 6.5, -110. Both sides. Any opinion on this game here?
I bet an over, and it's kind of a trickier one though, because there's -105s out there, which I think are good. -110, I think I'd bet it a little bit smaller, but I think there's potential for a lot of goals in this game. Marchenko being back obviously is like, I've been waiting for this to bet some Columbus overs again. He's obviously just so important to this team. And what they're able to do offensively with him and without him is like drastically different. So getting him back in the lineup should really help their offense tick back up. It's been struggling a little bit without him. And the Wings have been generating a ton. They've had no issue generating. Their issue with why they're not winning games again, or they're struggling a little bit, is because they have not been nearly as good defensively, and their goaltending is dropping off a little bit, as was probably to be expected given who their goaltenders are. So yeah, we're also getting Merzlikins in net for Columbus, which is at this point, a clear downgrade from Jet Greaves. Not like a significant one, but it's enough of a downgrade where it just helps that over a little bit more. So over 6.5 here. Again, there is plus money still available, but like available is put loosely. So yeah, I like the over here. I think smaller at -110. If you can get like -105 or better, it will be a full go.
All right, shop around for that. Oh, maybe it'll pop later today as well. 3 games left on the board: Minnesota, Calgary, Seattle, Edmonton, Chicago, LA. I'll let you pick your favorite of these 3 games. Which do you want to talk about first?
Let's go to Minnesota, Calgary, I guess.
All right. Let's see. Go ahead.
I'll do that because So Money messaged me and said, I have a bet on Calgary. Make sure you tell the people. So So Money does have a bet on Calgary in this game.
Okay.
I told him I bet it as well because I did, but I bet it a little bit earlier. And it was also a smaller bet at +110. So I think the Flames are the right side in this game. The thing that gives me pause, and I can't speak for So Money because he didn't give me any explanation or reasoning. I think we both are kind of aligned in the fact that we think the Flames are better than they've shown. We bet them the other night. They did not play well against Nashville. It is what it is. We're going back to the well here. I guess we'll say a double best bet. But my biggest hesitation was this is their first game back from a long road trip, which is typically a bit of a tough spot for teams. And I do think that's somewhat priced in, which is why we're getting, the plus money that we're getting. But yeah, like I don't think it's kind of take into consideration just how tough of a spot that can be for sometimes for teams. Like we saw it from the Habs the other night. They looked really bad against Ottawa. That's just the one that pops into my head. Obviously, being a Habs fan, I'm watching all their games, but like a lot of times we see these teams come back from these longer road trips or these West Coast trips and really struggle first game back. So that's my biggest hesitation here. But like Calgary is playing generally well, at least as well as the Wild are. And the Wild are just getting results because they're getting elite goaltending, and that's basically what it comes down to. I don't know how long that can continue for, but like it's pretty scary to get in front of either of these guys right now, especially Wallstedt, who's been just insane. Don't know who's starting tonight. I don't think there's been confirmation.
Wolf is starting for Calgary. I just
okay. So Wolf has been confirmed. Since we've been on.
Pat Steinberg 8 minutes ago. Yeah.
Okay. So that sucks. I hate Calgary even more now because Cooley's better. I'm gonna bet an over though right now.
Okay.
Over 5.5 then, because the Flames are generating. We talked about that. The Wild are not the best defensively right now. They're just getting elite goaltending. I think we'll get Gustafsson here, which is crazy at this point. Like just because the heater that Wallstedt's on, I think is a little bit of a downgrade, and Wolf is definitely a downgrade from Cooley. Wolf's really been struggling. So like the Flames a little bit less. I would not advocate for a Flames bet at this point. I can't speak for So Money if that changes his opinion at all. But Wolf is enough to get me on an over 5.5 here, which I'm going to be betting very shortly.
All right, over 5.5 -120 is available at FanDuel, but there's a 109 out there.
And doing Edgework pregame instead of Edgework overtime is
a lot better.
A lot more stuff. You're kind of I don't know, but a lot better. I mean, I think I do like it a little bit more, but it's a lot more chaotic. It feels a lot more chaotic. Maybe it's also because I don't have like the downtime to like have So Money talk for like 2 minutes
and
think
a little bit.
Can like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like,
I'm just throwing
get
everything
things in a row here.
Throwing things at you. All right. Well, 2 more games left here, and then we're going to get Brad on the show. We got Seattle taking on Edmonton. Edmonton -220, I think I saw. Pickard in net, maybe. I might be wrong about that, but I'll check for you quickly here.
Pickard in net.
Pickard in net, -220. Don't know if that affects things for you, but Seattle, Edmonton, the over is also at -118. 5.5 -118. Anything like in this game?
I don't have a bet in this game, and I'm not going to have a bet in this game. This is again, would be a good spot to fade the Oilers, just given I think that they're a lot worse than the market has them priced right now. But the Kraken are a team that I wouldn't bet in basically any situation at present. I just think they're so bad, and they're playing terrible hockey as well. They've been off since Saturday, which I don't know how that's going to impact them. Sometimes teams come from these longer layoffs and are just really sluggish. It's hard to imagine the Kraken being even more sluggish than they usually are, given how slow they play on a regular basis, but they just cannot generate anything, and they cannot drive play whatsoever. So if Edmonton struggles in this game, that will be sort of something I really take note of here, because this should be a spot, even with the Kraken pretty rested, this should be a spot where, like, if the Oilers are a serious team, they should come out here and wax them. At least maybe not on the scoreboard, but at least like drive play, control the expected goal share, way more shot attempts, all that sort of stuff. Like, they should have their way here. And if they don't, that would be pretty concerning. So something I'm just going to be watching for. I'll say there's also potential that we get a backup for Seattle, because Decord has started the last 3. But given the fact that they've been off all week, I think it's less likely that we do. And we probably do still see Decord, but like, there's at least small potential that he doesn't start.
All right. Keep an eye on that goalie announcement. We gotta like start like a Edgework GoFundMe to get like a good beat reporter out in Seattle for us.
Seattle, we do.
Exactly.
We really do.
Who's gonna start there? All right. Last game on the board. Blackhawks taking on the Kings. Am I seeing movement here? Slight movement on the board. Maybe not. Just small ticks here and there. Minus 205 right now on the money line for the Kings at home on FanDuel. 5.5 is the total. Minus 120 towards the over. Last game on the board. Talk us through this one.
I think we did just see a bunch of under money come in.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's because we got I don't know if Jordan, our resident
Lil Jordan
Hawks fan, can tell us if that's because, did we get Spencer Knight? Is that what's happening here, or no? Or is there nothing? It's just like interesting market timing. Just pulling up Ben Pope on Twitter here to see if he's doesn't sound like we have anything. I was wondering if we're gonna get Soderblom tonight, and just given like the way they've kind of rotated their goalies, it's been like 2 night, 1 Soderblom, 2 night, 1 Soderblom. So I think there's strong potential for Soderblom here. If so, I don't want to do anything. I still just can't bet an over with the way the Kings are playing lately, because they're just so low event again. They're struggling to generate offense. They've been pretty elite defensively still, even without Doughty. They've, like somebody talked about the other day, they've been able to mask their kind of weaker guys and just play sort of a better overall team defense. We'll get Kemper, which is good for an under as well. If there was Spencer Knight confirmation, just given how little the Blackhawks have been creating and how well the Kings have been playing defensively, and like how much they've been struggling to create too, I was gonna like an under at like maybe plus money here, but looks like that's gone now anyways. So I can't imagine I'm gonna have anything on this game at any point, even if we do get a Knight confirmation or a Soderblom confirmation. I don't think at this point it really matters.
All right. I guess it doesn't matter then here. That wraps up for today. Appreciate you jumping on, Alex. Any last thoughts before you head out? Any awards thoughts? Any division futures? Anything you like in terms of the future market? I see people in the chats telling me to bet Demidov, because apparently I'm so bad at betting futures with Pavia. They want a better price, or sorry, I guess I don't know. They just want me to mush Demidov, it seems like. So, and any
I'm gonna have to hear the Demidov stuff all year. I will say, Demidov last night, elite play along the boards to take the puck off Morrissey and tee up Captain for the tying goal, and he has been playing really well. He had a career high 19 minutes of ice time last night. If that starts to tick up the way it's been ticking up of late, and Marty's even made points of bringing that up, how like I need to get this guy more ice time. If that's like a sign of what's to come and he plays that much, this could get tight again. That's all I'm gonna say. This could get tight again.
Okay.
So I don't think we're drawing dead. We're obviously, I think the market is relatively fair where it's at right now. My earlier Demidov prices were not great, obviously, but
happens to the best of us.
We're not dead. I will say we're not dead yet. So hopefully you can keep it up and keep earning that ice time.
That's all good. Listen, sometimes you bet stuff and it goes the wrong way. It happens, but you could still be right. You could the market could very well be wrong, and there's
market knows nothing.
For you at least, there's still 2/3 ish of the season to be played. So 1/3. The awards aren't handed out a third of the way to the season; they're handed out at the end of the year. So I just know you're gonna be hiring like an Etsy witch or something to cast a voodoo spell on Matthew Schaefer. Yeah. Anyways,
if I can find someone, I will do that for sure.
You didn't hear about? Didn't the Mariners? Jacob, you can correct me on this. Didn't the Mariners, someone like a Mariners fan, do that to someone?
I'm not sure.
There was something about an Etsy witch in the Seattle Mariners. Forgot about that.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna have to get in touch with this person. Do some research here.
All right, Alex, I'll let you go. I know you're probably typing Etsy on your keyboard right now. We'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, see you guys.
Have a good one. Bye. All right, that was a good little segment there on Edgework Overtime. If you enjoyed it, do us a favor. I always ask halfway through the segment because it's towards the end of the show, but it was at the beginning of the show this time. Do us a favor, smash the like button for Alex. Do it for So Money so he comes back on Tuesday because as good as Alex is, I think the segment is just as good, if not better, with So Money because, man, he's got good hair, smart guy, great bettor. Just a wealth of knowledge. I got Brad Power behind the scenes, about to jump on here. Before we bring him on, though, quickly, FanDuel's making week 14 even bigger with the chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets this Thursday night. That's right, $2 million. Here's how it works. Opt in and place an anytime touchdown score bet on the Lions versus the Cowboys. And using your profit boost, if you're a player, you pick scores, either the first or last touchdown of the game. You'll earn a share of $2 million in bonus bets. That's right, $1 million for each touchdown. If they get both the first and last, then you get a share of the $2 million, those two $1 million combined. Let's take a look at the touchdown board for today. Throw a dart here on maybe someone who could be scoring a touchdown. And got a lot of uncertainty with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Probably not playing. He's still listed as questionable. I'm going to throw my dart at Tom Kennedy, wide receiver for Detroit Lions. Who is that? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's just going to be out there in 3 wide receiver sets. Plus 270 right now to score a touchdown. Let's throw a dart on him to score the first or last touchdown. And I mean, if you're feeling really frisky, maybe you go Jared Goff again, back to the well. But last week he was like 22-1 to score a touchdown. This week he's 13-1. I don't like that much anymore.
You had a good spot last week.
Yeah, I don't like that anymore. Anyways, it's just one more reason to bet on the NFL with FanDuel. So whether you've got a feeling about that opening drive or you're banking on a clutch finish, now's the time to get in the game. Visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to download the app today and get started. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and affiliates with Kansas Star Casino, 19 plus and physically located in Ontario, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issues not withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rghelp.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-750-5050 for 24% support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-OPEN-Y or text OPEN-Y. In New York, call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600. Visit connexontario.ca. All right. College football time. I'm worried that chat might get like a little exhausted of the college football, but this has been so much fun talking the Heisman Conference Championship, looking ahead to the playoffs. We're just gonna dive right into it here. You know him, you've seen him on the Hit the Books YouTube channel, the better half, I would argue, of the Hit the Books show, one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion, college football betting show in the country, in the continent. Brad, how's it going, my friend?
It's going, man. It's good to hear someone else read that ad read other than myself trying to auctioneer through it. So good job.
I appreciate it. But listen, if you ever want to throw to me during the Monday show, I'd be happy to read it. I'd be more than happy to read it. But don't want to take the hosting duties away from you because you do such a fantastic job of it. Seriously, if you're listening to the college football segment on this show, you got to go listen to it. You got to go watch Hit the Books because I think you guys do it right there. As much as I hate giving Kanish credit, I think you guys do a really good job. And it's also a fun show to listen to. 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Friday, and sometimes Saturday at like around 1:30-ish. You guys gonna do the show this? Is there gonna be a 1 o'clock show this Saturday?
Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet, but yeah, we'll probably do. I think there's a Big 12 championship. We can do the halftime because I mean, there's a lot. Big 12 championship doesn't scream, oh, great game to do because it's a 13-point spread, but there's a lot of hinging factors on that game, specifically the final playoff spot. So we can talk about that.
Of course, the ramifications of that are pretty massive. If there's one thing that I want to lead with, though, it's got to be the Heisman stuff because I've talked about it all week. I I still would take the no on Pavia. Shocker. If I would take it at minus 340, I'd probably take it at, what is it now? Like plus 165. So if you can get a no at like minus 170, 175, I would like to take that. Everyone's heard me talk about it, so I'm just going to zip my lips here and let you speak about it. What's your opinion on this Heisman race?
Well, I mean, I have an ego, but I'm also self-aware, and I got to be honest with you, I'm not connecting with the media who, obviously votes on this award, and trying to project on who they like and who they don't like has become pretty difficult in the last 2 years. I had a good run of the Heisman. I think I had 6 out of 8 years. The last 2 have been abysmal failures trying to project on how these people are going to vote. It's like a, flag waving in the wind, whatever's popular for that particular week. I thought I was in good shape with Julian Sang, who I like a lot. Seems like the media don't, because he's surrounded by a bunch of talented players. I get that, but the last 3-4 Ohio State quarterbacks have been surrounded by a bunch of talented wide receivers, C.J. Stroud, Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields. And the reality is Julian Sang's had a better single season than any of those guys. And it's not like they're really trying for it either. They run the slowest tempo in college football, and yet he's still putting up, an historic season as far as completion percentage, the best in the history of college football. I think they take care of business relatively easily against Indiana, which will knock out, in my opinion, Mendoza. I guess because Pavia's had a couple of good games, that's the hot name. You and I talked about this, and I told you I don't see it. And after the show, within like 12 hours, they must have been attuned to our conversation, privy to it. And they thought, hey, these two jackasses don't know anything. And the odds moved significantly against our viewpoints. You got to respect it, though. It's an information-based market. But I still think Sang has a big game. I'm betting it that way. I still go by Julian Sang winning the Heisman, even though the odds say no.
I know, and I've seen people like tweet at me saying that it's like reflective of a Ohio State, not an Ohio State money line bet. I forget what they were saying, but it's similar. It's like essentially a better bet than Ohio State money line because I think they think there's too many outs for him for saying not to win if Ohio State does win, which I think is crazy. It's just crazy to me. It seems like the way that these markets have been going every single week, or at least the polls that are attached to these markets, like whether they be the Athletic straw poll or that On3 poll that came out, it's just like whatever's happened most recently this week has been like caught the most attention or caught the most steam. And it just again shocks me that the two guys who are playing, like chances are they're probably going to get the most esteem here. Anyways, I just can't get over the fact that he's not even playing this week, and Pavia is just people seem to like him. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're both wrong, but I'm like you. I like to dig my heels in. I have a little bit of an ego, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. It is what it is. The Pavia stuff kind of gets me to my next question here. I don't know if you saw. I'm sure you saw in the news recently that Vandy tried to schedule some games or a game this week against against Miami or Utah. Give me your thoughts on that. Like the chance of this stuff happening was very, very low to even begin with. I feel like they're kind of just parading this around to try and get some like SEC bias baked into the playoffs, maybe build up some uproar to maybe give them a chance to slide in. Which I doubt they'll make it. But what are your thoughts on, first of all, the idea of this scheduling a game last second this week, and just maybe the reasoning why this is being reported?
Yeah, I mean, I probably got a better chance of having a date with Sydney Sweeney tonight than those games being played. I mean, obviously, we've seen it. It has been done. I mean, the recent history, COVID told us that anything is possible with college football scheduling. Games would be scheduled on the fly. So, yeah, I like it. It's outside the box thinking. Was it doable? No, for a variety of reasons. Last I checked, there was a very important day on the college football calendar just yesterday called signing day. It's not, I think coaches would have preferred to be involved with that for half the week rather than game planning for a game that you didn't think would happen. So it's good media publicity, but certainly not doable. Would I like to see an extra data point on some of the teams that are in the mix? Absolutely. We're going to get I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm like an elitist at college football. Oh, boy. I mean, only a certain few can win the national championship. I mean, for about 10, 15 years, that number was less than 5 in a single season, the amount of teams that could win it legitimately. I think now that number has grown even further. I would say not only doubled, but maybe even tripled.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have 2 or 3 teams left out of the playoffs this year that I don't know if they're national title contenders, but they were certainly capable of winning a playoff game or two. And that's sad that those teams aren't going to have a shot.
All right. That gets me to my next question here. I want you to play commissioner for a day because I want you to restructure the playoff format, or you could keep it the same, whatever you feel like is right, because the Vandy scheduling, like the whole circus behind them wanting to schedule this game made me think sort of exposes an issue with the college football playoffs where because of NIL, because of the current landscape of college football, teams have evened out a little bit more. And some of the worst teams who maybe would lose recruits have now, just if they have a ton of money, they'll be able to get recruits now and just become a better team overall. So how would you change the playoff format? Would you increase the size? Maybe I've heard like a 16-team playoff getting thrown around where you just completely get rid of the conferences, because the conferences also kind of throw a weird wrench into the mix here where you don't really award a conference championship. You just, like, for example, maybe the SEC gets their top 2 teams into the college football. They get an auto bid, and then teams 3 to 4, 5, and 6 sort of play their way in. And this conference championship weekend is replaced with like sort of a play-in weekend. Would you rather do 8 teams and just the best 8 teams in the country, regardless of conference, make it in? What would you say? How would you change the college football playoff format, or would you just keep it the same?
I changed a hell of a lot. Starting with the conferences. I mean, they're too big now, and they're so, the reason we have issues right now is because a lot of teams, they're in the same conference, but we don't play half the teams in our conference. So it all comes down to, scheduling. I mean, when you avoid the best teams, like a lot of the teams at the top of college football have with their records, you get, 4, 6, 5-way tiebreakers with the same conference record. So I can't believe I'm saying this because I hated them I think we got to go back to divisions in conferences where you play at least everybody in your division at least to get a better grasp on this. So we have a little bit more standardized scheduling. I'd go to 9 conference games mandatory if that's the case. 12 teams I think is okay. I'd like to see it play out a little bit. But here's what I will say. If a G5 team is ranked in the top 12, then put them in. If they're not a top 12 team. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. So I'm not, this whole Cinderella's invited to the dance, but she's got a curfew. I don't even know if she's invited to my dance every year. So I especially this year, we could have 2 of them in there. There's only so many spots. I don't want to waste it on a team like that. I also don't want to waste it on a 7-5 Duke. They're not in. If I'm a conference commissioner or commissioner of college football, they're not playing this week. Miami is. That takes care of, one team right there as far as the college football playoff goes. So I would be much more open to changing it on a year-to-year basis. I don't need strict rules. We don't live in a black and white society. We live in a gray society. So I'm more for that. I'm more for what makes college football great. That's home games on campus. So not only will the first round games be on campus, the next round would be too. The quarterfinals would be on campus to not only reward those top 4 seeds with a bye, but then a home playoff game on top of that. So that's what I'd change.
All right.
Right now, I'd say 12. You would have never heard me say 12 is good because I said there ain't 12 teams worthy. Well, then now there is all of a sudden. Now that everybody can pay each other, every player's unlike just the SEC because that's what was going on. 12 teams seems I just got done saying I think 12 teams are capable of winning a playoff game or 2, maybe more than 12.
So could I convince you to get to maybe 16 here where there's 18?
Well, they're going to 16. That's just the fallout of a Notre Dame or a Miami, a Texas and Vanderbilt being left out is we're going to 16. We're going to 16 probably next year.
Yeah, 16 next year. And then how would that work? Would it be like 8 teams auto bid, then 16 other teams play for those last 8 spots in a play-in, and then those 8 teams, they get a bye essentially. Their bye week would be pretty much this week, and then they get the home field for the next game. How would that work in your mind?
I don't know. To tell somebody that they're the 1 seed and they got to still play the same number of playoff games as a 16 seed, I think is a joke. So you'd have to have some sort of bye in there, you would think. But right. I don't. And here's the thing. Just because they got a lot of money or they're in power, it doesn't necessarily mean that these guys have a high IQ or know what the hell they're doing. And I'm talking about the guys that are running college football. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't even really know what they're going to do on Sunday. I could definitely see them, all of a sudden for the first time this year, changing the order of Notre Dame and Miami. Why? Because they can just do whatever the hell they want. I mean, there's no set of rules. You asked me some changes I would be willing to make. I go back to the BCS system. The computers are better than ever. The models are better than ever. Let's just go back to a ranking system like that instead of having some 12 idiot conference commissioners, athletic directors, former coaches, which could be easily corruptible, have them deciding on the playoffs. Get them the hell out of there.
No, I agree. And it always shocks me. I had this conversation today with a friend, just talking about how, like, it shocks me that, like, with how good models are nowadays, there's not, like, a little bit of, like, just, like, a power ranking system involved where, like, just to add a little bit more seasoning into the mixture where we know that, like,
it has to be that.
Like, I've heard you talk about Notre Dame a ton. And, like, I think some people have Notre Dame as, like, one of the top 3 teams in the country. And to have them potentially miss the playoffs here would be a shame. It would be a big shame. So that gets me to my next question, though, because as bettors with uncertainty, we can take advantage of those things in the market. I want to look a little bit towards some college football futures. I know it's not a crazy thing that's going to be baked in right now because I think they're like still like minus 300 to make the playoffs. Notre Dame is, but would you look at them to win the national championship at around 10-1, knowing that part of that price is being affected by the fact that they have a chance to miss the playoffs?
Well, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, to be honest with you. And that's my biggest decision of the year is I bet the no, because I think there's a variety of ways that they get left out, starting with BYU, maybe pulling an upset. So I wouldn't run to the window to make that bet. And even then I would have to have them make get in, which I think is, maybe 60% right now that they get in. And if they do, it depends on pathway. I can't make that bet because I'm going to be honest with you. I think Ohio State's head and shoulders above everybody else. Okay. I am to the point now where I think Ohio State's getting close to they're actually better than last year's team. So if that's the case, I'm just going to be betting Ohio State. I would make almost Ohio State even money for the field. I need one data point to see what they do against Indiana because they haven't played that tough of a schedule. But I'm betting Ohio State this week, and I got a sneaky suspicion that they are head and shoulders. So I can't make a recommendation on betting Notre Dame 10-1. Especially when they could play Ohio State in the second round.
Yeah, fair enough here. And Ohio State's currently plus 185. We've been banging, not to like toot our own horn, but we've been banging the Ohio State drum here on this show basically throughout the entire year. We're like just constantly saying, listen, it's the unsexiest pick on the board. We're not going out of our way to say some crazy thing is going to happen, but this team just looks really good. Team looks really good. Plus 185 here.
They're undervalued in the market. I mean, they're 14-1-1 at the last 16 games going back to last year. Yeah. And I know that sounds square, but I mean, normally when you have a defending national champ, you're going to be paying a premium on their point spread on a weekly basis when they continue to cover. And yet here they are. They continue to cover. They're bet against this week. The line was 6. Now it's 4. The market's not grasping how good they are.
Yeah. But also a team that won last year that also didn't lose too much heading into this year and got like a good recruiting class. It's just like, everything went right for Ohio State this year, it seems like, in terms of recruits and who they currently have on the field. One more question I want to get to is this Georgia team, kind of in the similar vein of what I asked you about Notre Dame with the uncertainty, because if maybe I know the committee said that they're not going to weigh conference championships too much in terms of their ranking, but there could be a scenario where Alabama wins and Georgia maybe falls out and loses their bye, and that could potentially be priced into the market here on the national championship. I know you said you liked Ohio State regardless, and they're undervalued, but Georgia at plus 750, maybe even looking down towards to make it the national championship. Georgia at plus 280 here, where they'd probably be on the other side of Ohio State. Would you consider any futures for Georgia just on the thought that there's uncertainty baked in with it that they could lose to Alabama?
Yeah, it's a good one. I could get behind that one a little bit more. I like them to beat Alabama. It's certainly not a slam dunk considering their past history against Crimson Tide. But again, I could see them going all the way up to the number 2 seed, opposite end of the Buckeyes. That I could see a pathway of at least them making the championship game. But I got to be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of what I saw from them last week, putting up 16 points against Georgia Tech's well below average defense. When I bet Georgia last week, I didn't appreciate that, but I went right back to the well again this week. If they prove me right this week, I'd probably have a little more interest. Again, it all comes down to path. I mean, a lot of this could go different ways. There could be a chance where that they're in that 5-12 matchup, and I could see them winning a bunch of playoff games in a row. Or if they get a bad matchup, they could be early exit one and done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Anything you like in terms of futures before we head out here? Because I know you mentioned you wanted to talk that, but I've been like kind of gas bagging a little bit, talking too much. So apologies, doing a bad job as a host. I'll give you the floor right now, or maybe you want to save it for Hit the Books, and we can like kind of promo the show right now. Anything you like in terms of the future markets that we haven't touched on yet?
Well, I do like that Notre Dame no to make the playoff.
Okay.
I'm not saying, go out and bet it like a normal side or spread since it's 3-1, but I think there is some value there, and I think they're in trouble to make the playoffs for a variety of reasons. But there's that. I like Ohio State. If you just want an old game side or total, Buckeyes -4, best bet, cheap.
I'll let me pull up the Hit the Books bet stamp account. I'll lock it in here. I'll give
Kanish is against it. We're head to head on the game.
Can I be the third party that like picks the side? Like I like Ohio State as well here for this game. So
I don't keep it simple. So
yeah,
as one of my old colleagues would say, and then your next guest will appreciate this. Smoke dope all week, pick the Buckeyes, cover the spread, call it a day.
I love it. Okay, I have you for I'm going a little over time. Apologize to Hitman in the back, but I need to ask this question of you. USC with the #1 recruiting class. What do you think the impact that Chad Bowden has had on this franchise, former Notre Dame GM, who we ended up poaching from you guys?
Yeah, it worked out for both parties. I think he was running thin a little bit at Notre Dame for his message, but it's certainly, a new place. Really worked well at SC, and his type of messaging definitely does work well. Look no further than #1 class. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, on running the window. Oh, they got a bunch of great true freshmen. I mean, there's certain kids that are going to play that tight end that they got. I think will play right away for them. But no, it's just a step in the right direction. I thought they took a step in the right direction. Wins and losses this year, getting to 9. Schedule's tough again next year, but. Yeah, I mean, good offseason. Let's see how they fill out the rest of the roster with the portal. But things are looking up for SC. I don't know if they're a national title contender yet, but if they stack a couple of those classes together, they certainly will be.
All right. Appreciate it, Brad. We'll see you on the Friday Hit the Book show. We'll chat soon.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome stuff there from Brad. Love it. Apologies to Hitman in the back. Gone a little bit over time there with Brad. But you know what? Like, he's just such a wealth of college football knowledge, and I feel like I just talked so much about the Heisman this week. I feel like I've done a disservice to the audience here. So hopefully you guys got a good college football fix in. That wasn't just me talking about how Pavia has no shot to win the Heisman, which I've said God knows how many times this week. Yeah. All right. Before we bring on Hitman, though, I just want to quickly remind you guys about our Discord. Not sure if you heard. We have a new Discord here at the Hammer Betting Network. We have over 1,300 members in there, including the guy joining us up next. We're in there. We're bantering. We're talking about the games. Rob's giving out some of his anytime touchdown fair prices for primetime games. You can chat directly with us creators or with the community as well. What else is there? Oh, yeah. Alex fires off some Saturday NHL bets. Clive sometimes shares some of his team totals. You can join right now at discord.gg/hammer. Head over to discord.gg/hammer. Link is in the description down below. All right, it's prop time. Let's bring on the best prop better that I know. Hitman, how's it going?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's good.
What's up, Jason? How's it going?
Good. No, you guys as well. You're talking to the chat. It's everyone here. Everyone here. Yep. And I recently learned it is specifically guys because I was doing a little bit of a deep dive on analytics. We have 0% female viewership, which is like not. I swear. Go
legitimately
go,
zero.
Legitimately zero. There was no stats there, so that's
wow.
It doesn't jump up to like 20% when I come on.
Like the
female viewership.
No. Hey man, does your wife watch?
I'm just saying, like there might be other women that just like men watch when like Paige Sporanic's on something. I feel like some woman maybe jump on when I'm on. No?
I didn't know you had that kind of riz. Maybe we'll check the analytics for specifically the Thursdays and Monday shows. No, you would think that there'd be more with me as the host. Like I think that's what you're trying to getting at. No,
Bud Bundy.
Was Bud Bundy a player? Like I don't know.
He was the anti-player in the show.
Okay, so maybe it is accurate. And Chosen Sports saying everyone is too ugly. Honestly, maybe that's what it is. All right, let's get into the game, though. Off the hop, can we talk about your release? Because I wanted to get into the Detroit Lions.
Sure, we could talk Lions receivers.
Yeah,
Lions pass game.
Is that okay? Can I talk about what you gave out, or do you want?
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned on your service Jameson Williams under 83.5 receiving yards, -115. I mean, I don't know if Amon-Ra has been ruled out since we started the show. He has?
No, but I don't expect him to play.
Okay.
So it wasn't based off any of that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because I was shocked that they still haven't ruled him out. Don't expect him to play. But yeah, let's talk through these Lions wide receivers, because it seems like Jameson Williams got a super large target share when Amon-Ra was out last week. But I like you didn't really see it. I was aligned with you. Not that it matters on the Jameson Williams unders here. Talk us through why you like Jameson Williams unders, and then like maybe someone else you might like.
So just in general, this is just me guesstimating, but I think that Detroit is going to try to be a little bit more run heavy this game, at least to start, until they're forced out of it. Teams against Dallas have had a really high pass rate over expectation the last few weeks. Kansas City, the Eagles, and the Raiders, since they got Quinn and Williams. So you would kind of think the opposite, but once St. Brown went down, Detroit threw the ball 23% below expectations for the entire game. So with the amount of wide receiver and tight end injuries they have right now, I just think this is a good spot for Detroit. At least I'm just trying to think about what they're going to do. I kind of think that they're going to try to stay run heavy as long as possible in this game, which could be some anti-Jameson stuff, some anti-Goff stuff. Jameson at 83.5 was just kind of being priced as a guy like let's think about, like, for an entire season, that's a guy that's going to have 1,450 receiving yards and be the best receiver in the league statistically, possibly. I'm just not sure that he's that guy. Like, he's explosive as shit. He's good after the catch, but he's just been an inconsistent target earner during his career. And yeah, a lot of that is because you have an Amon-Ra St. Brown who's taking such a high target share. But I just want to see Jameson prove to me that he's a guy that's going to be lined at 83.5. I mean, that is a lot of receiving yards to be lined at. And I know the matchup's great, but especially in a game that I do think Detroit goes run heavier, at least to start. And then also you have like the 5% chance that Amon-Ra St. Brown plays in this game, which would lower his odds significantly. Now, I don't expect St. Brown to play, but that's a small factor into a play that I liked anyway, and these lines right now. And I wasn't going to wait. I didn't want to wait for the lines right now are accounting that he's out, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, if Amon-Ra St. Brown is suddenly in, like, Tom Kennedy under is going to be the bet of the year. So I think St. Brown misses. I think Detroit ideally wants to stay run heavy.
Yeah, if he does play a snap, though, we've had bet of the years where that got voided because they didn't play a snap. And Tom Kennedy, like, speaking of Tom Kennedy here, like, who is this guy? Who is Tom Kennedy? I'm looking at his Wikipedia page right now. He was a redshirt freshman on a FCS team. What was it? Bryant. Never heard of them. Redshirt freshman in 2014. Played 2 years of lacrosse in 2015, 2016. Then switched back to football 2017, 2018 here. Like, are you even tempted at all by, like, betting him in this game, even like when Amon-Ra is ruled out? Like, I saw some people say that he might get the ball more than Isaac TeSlaa, which is slightly priced in. TeSlaa is at 36.5. Kennedy's at 27.5. But like, for a guy who, I mean, I've literally never heard of him my entire life. Any opinion on Tom Kennedy?
Yeah, I mean, they just threw Kennedy right into the St. Brown role. Like, he played the slot. He did everything St. Brown does. Now, obviously, he's going to do it at a way lesser level of St. Brown. But I think he's going to be out there, and I think he's going to be running a lot of the high percentage routes that Jared Goff likes to throw.
Okay.
I mean, he was earning some targets when he was out there last week against the Packers. So, yeah, I really don't. I mean, typically, you know, I'd love to play a Tom Kennedy under or something. But, and like the other thing is, like, you would think, like, with the St. Brown injury, like, all right, well, maybe there's a chance that Detroit goes with more 12 personnel, but they have so many injuries at tight end right now. Like, they have Ross Dwelly and Anthony Ferkser right now. So I don't think it's going to be much 12 personnel. I think Detroit probably stays in that 11 personnel, or they end up splitting Jahmyr Gibbs out. Like, I could see him maybe running maybe two back sets where they try to get Jahmyr Gibbs in as a receiver, which I guess theoretically would impact Tom Kennedy, and maybe you look at a live under if like you see Jahmyr Gibbs playing a lot of slot receiver and getting Montgomery at running back. But yeah, pre-flop, I probably don't end up having anything on that.
All right. I want to ask you then about the rushing game, because if we think that part of the Jameson Williams under is that they might run the ball a little bit more here, the Detroit Lions. Do you like Jahmyr Gibbs at like 76.5? Do you feel like that's a good number here? Do you think that like this Detroit team, no matter the game state, I mean, listen, if they're down like 3 scores, they're going to be throwing the football. But if they keep it a tight game,
I mean, like the problem is that I don't want to throw too many eggs into one basket.
Of course.
Like I don't. It's not like I have intel from the freaking coaches. Like we're gonna run heavy. It's just a theory of mine. I could very well be wrong, and then I'm looking at like 5 different plays that are all correlated, and I'm screwed. So I ended up getting involved with like some Goff under pass yards, under pass attempts, the Jameson stuff. I really didn't go much further than that. I kind of leaned towards David Montgomery rush yards over, because there's always a chance that Gibbs is used a little bit more as a receiver in this game, and Montgomery gets a little bit more work in like some 2-back sets, but it's nothing I've bet and nothing I'm going to go crazy over.
All right. I like to ask you about SGPs and touchdown props as well. If you have a touchdown score prop in the back of the pocket, kind of save it there for a little bit. The way you're describing, like, again, I know you don't want to put too many eggs in one basket, but part of the handicap for the Jameson Williams is them running the football more. If we're going to see Detroit kind of hammer the run and stick a lot to the run, is this total of 54.5 like a little too high then?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to give you the same speech that I give you every game day about how I don't play in the game day sides totals market, but I would think so. I mean, I think there's a path that Dallas's defense plays well in this game. I really do. I mean, Detroit just and remember, like, there's questions about Penei Sewell playing in this game. Like, I think he's going to play, but like, I think he's going to need a pregame workout, and then they're going to determine that he's playing. So I'm just down in general on Detroit. I'm just a little down in general on Detroit's offense. I mean, I like Dallas for the game. +3. I do take that for what it's worth, which probably isn't much, but I like Dallas. And yeah, I kind of, maybe it leads you to a Detroit team total under.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to build out the first 2 legs of an SGP here. I'm going to kind of paint a picture for you. And you're going to fill out the last 2 legs of the SGP kind of based on what we just talked about there. I agree with you. I like the Dallas Cowboys in this game. I like Dallas Cowboys +3. I also like them on the money line. I'm not going to come out here and say wrong team favored, but yeah, I think it should be like underneath the 3 here. So let's aim for a fat tail. Let's take the under and buy a couple points down and take it at 47.5, under 47.5 total points. Combine it with the Dallas Cowboys to win the game, with the idea that the Cowboys are probably leading mostly throughout the game here. So under 47.5 Dallas Cowboys, what props would you look at in that sort of game state that I've just built out for you?
It's Dallas and the under?
Yes.
The alternate under?
Correct. Yes. 47.5.
I'm trying to think if there's anything like reverse correlated or not. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be Goff under, Jason.
Okay.
Like pass attempts, maybe Goff under pass attempts, but
what about any rushing stuff from the
I mean, maybe a Montgomery over, which is going to be reverse correlated.
Yeah. So
and then and Gibbs plays a little bit more receiver. Montgomery's out there a little more at running back. Yeah.
All right. I like that. Good way to close it out here. Montgomery over 36.5 rushing yards. I guess this is to 15-1. So an under 47.5 Dallas Cowboys money line. David Montgomery over 36.5. Combine that together, you can get a 15. It's closer to 16-1 here. Plus 15, 59. Hey man, before you head out here, I'm going to do this to you. I do this to you every single week. I've bought you a little bit of time for you to think about who you might like to score an anytime touchdown. It doesn't have to be on. I'm not going to ask you for one on each team because there's just so much variance and just a lot going on in this game. What do you like here for an anytime touchdown score? Gun to your head if you had to pick one.
I know this is Rob's guy, Ryan Flournoy. He's plus 750. Cavante Turpin is 6-1. Just think they should be a little tighter. And I know Flournoy. Didn't we take Flournoy against Arizona and he scored?
Yep.
Was that me? Yeah, I took him, right?
Yeah, you've been relatively. I'm not saying this is going to continue, but you've been relatively hot with these gun to head anytime touchdown scores. So tell people not to bet.
Yeah. You want a fun bet? Flournoy plus 750.
All right, we like to do it responsibly here. Flournoy plus 750. Hitman, appreciate you. Any final thoughts before you head out here, whether it be on this game or the week at large in the NFL? Do you have any? Did I ask you about the Heisman stuff? I think I did on my YouTube. So I'm gonna spare the Heisman stuff here. Any opinions on the week or this game?
No, but we're rooting hard for Duke to win the ACC.
All right, I'm gonna bet.
We as in me at a ridiculous price, so nobody really cares. But
all right,
I have Duke at a pretty crazy price to win the ACC. So.
All right, I'm going to fade Duke then in that ACC game.
Okay.
Anyways, hey, man, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Later.
Awesome stuff there from the Hitman. He's good. He's good. He's a good guy. Good guy. You can also find him tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Forward Progress live watch along if you want to tune into that. Yeah, live watch along the game. Cowboys, Lions should be a lot of fun. I like that SGP we built. I again, not going to come out here and say hashtag wrong team favorite, but I think this should be a little bit closer to a 2.5 than it is to this 3 that we're at. So anyways, let's play Guess the Line and get out of here. Chat, don't forget, you guys can play along as well.
Play along.
Along.
I'm going to give 3 different lines. Jason's going to try and guess them. They're all player prop related. We have Jahmyr Gibbs, Peyton Pritchard, and Chase Brown up on the screen right now. Jason's going to first guess. If he's wrong, I'm going to give him a range to guess in. Then I'll give him an over-under to see if he can get it by the 3rd try. We're going to start off with Jahmyr Gibbs' longest rush. What is the line set currently at FanDuel?
I pay more. I don't really look at longest rush yards that much because you can't really get that much down on them. So, longest rush. Is it 22.5 for Jahmyr Gibbs?
22.5. So, I've set the windows in advance now.
Okay.
And the window here is 11.5 to 18.5.
Oh, wow. Way under. I'm going to go with 16.5.
Bang on.
Bang.
Bang on.
There we go.
16.5.
That number felt
minus 114 on each side for Jahmyr Gibbs' longest rush currently at FanDuel. Next up, we're going to Peyton Pritchard under assist. Sorry, over under assist as the Boston Celtics take on the Washington Wizards.
Any injury info that I need to know about?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I think Peyton Pritchard comes off the bench. I might be wrong there.
He starts.
He starts? Does he play a lot of minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Healthy.
Okay. Peyton Pritchard assists. Let's go with 4.5.
Okay, so the window here doesn't really help you. It's 2.5 to 7.5 because it is such a low number.
Okay. You gave it away there. It's such a low number. So is it 3.5?
Over.
Fuck. Okay, I got to go 5.5 then.
5.5
there we
is
go.
Also correct. Heavily juiced the over, minus 154.
Okay.
Currently at FanDuel. Can we go 3 for 3? We have finally Chase Brown rush attempts.
Can I ask what the spread is in that game?
The spread?
Is that illegal to do?
I think that's legal. You're using your intuition based off that. The spread is 5.5 in favor of the Bills.
Okay. I want to say 14.5 rush attempts.
Okay. The window here, that's incorrect,
Okay.
is 8.5 to 14.5.
Oh, okay. I was on the higher end of things. Let's go with 10.5. It feels way too low.
Over.
Okay. 12.5.
Correct again.
Okay, there we go.
Look at this guy.
There we go.
3 for 3.
3 for 3
on Guess the Line. Well done. Well played today.
Hopefully, chat played along as well. You guys listened to it on your way home and played along. I wonder. I need to start keeping track of my initial guess and see if it's probably not. I don't want to say more efficient, but if it's goes that way. If if you know what I'm trying to say, where maybe the number should be closer to that. I don't know. I'm also just blindly guessing this stuff. See how I do against the close, the close, and to the actual number itself. Anyways,
Yeah, that would be interesting to track, actually.
appreciate you guys for tuning in. Reminder tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time over on Forward Progress. You can go click the reminder right now on the channel. We got our live watch along. Myself, George, is going to be there. And then, of course, 5 p.m. Eastern time, Best Bets Show, Rob and the crew.
Just Rob in Austin today.
Just Rob and Austin today. No Suma.
Suma filled in on Tuesday, so they're giving him a day off.
All right. Suma always deserves a day off.
So if you want Suma's bets, you got to go check out the Tuesday Best Bets Show with George and Philip.
Which is very well produced. I'm not going to say much better produced because I don't want to throw our Thursday producer under the bus. That's not very nice of me. But yeah, anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do us a favor, smash the like button on the way out. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube, smash the like button as well. Goes a long way for us here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitter and you haven't subscribed, just double check. You may think you're subscribed to our channel on YouTube, and you might not be. Just double check here. It takes 2 seconds. So click that button. Anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been the Thursday, December 4th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends at FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.